Welcome to another episode of the Zero Conditions podcast. The number one podcast in the world. Tell Spotify I said it's the number one podcast in the world. Tell Google Podcasts. Tell YouTube. Tell Apple Music. Tell the local radio station in Anambra.
Anambra, really? Why Anambra? Why did you
Tell the one in Kaduna.
Why did you singular Anambra?
Say it in Katangwa. That we are back.
Katangwa.
And this episode was brought to you by Chivas Regal. The number one drink in the world as well. I don't know what you are drinking.
I don't care.
Buy an XV bottle today.
I don't care what you're drinking. This is what you should be drinking.
Should I cast you about what you were... Okay, don't let me cast you.
That's your business.
And today we have a fantastic guest. Melody, drop ad libs now. What are you doing, imaginary DJ? I say ad libs.
I don't know what Nigerians is.
Number one. Actually, this person is undisputed number one. Chairman.
Sabi boy.
Sabi man. Ha.
Sabi boy. Everybody says there's no
There's
menu.
man.
There's no man.
There's Sabi man, please.
The name is Sabi boy. Is Sabi boy or Sabi girl?
Sabi man.
Okay, Jensi, sorry.
The number one. Should I say show promoter?
Yeah, fair to say.
What's your preferred moniker?
Doesn't matter. I just like to make money.
It's not about the title, right?
It's not about the title.
And they're like, no, don't call me that.
The number one show promoter in Afrobeats, Mr. Osita Ugeh. You can also call him Money Man.
Amen.
Popularly called what?
Onyeze.
Nani, please, I'm begging you. What's Onyezi?
Nwaize.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what it is.
No, but he said it well. He used it well.
He did actually.
I'll speak Igbo now. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Because I want to be bragging in
He
Igbo.
did.
Because you are a hater. If he wasn't here now, you wouldn't have given my props.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
I didn't even know you got it right until he said this.
Oh.
I'm like, oh yeah, actually. I remember that the book, whenever that's how they spell it, Onyeze.
I said Onyeze.
The pronunciation is Onyeze.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Popularly known as Duke. And his company, Duke Concept, has done some of the biggest shows on Afrobeats. Arena shows. The first arena show in Afrobeats, he did it. That's Burna Boy's show. Yes. Most of Burna Boy's shows. Should I say all?
Oh.
All of Burna Boy's shows
99%, so which is all.
Yeah.
are done by Duke Concept.
in North America.
In
North
North
America.
America. Okay, cool.
Most of the tours, the recent Davido show at Madison Square Garden
He did
was done by
that.
Duke Concept.
And he wrote, delete your draft.
No. I said update your group chats.
And delete your draft.
No, you add that one.
No. Let me check. I saw it. It was not
No,
delete.
you finished it in your head.
Eh.
I'll tell you the story later why I said that.
Okay, let me see. Let me confirm.
Melody, find
No,
the
I'm
receipt.
finding it.
Finding the receipt.
I thought it was delete.
As a journalist
your,
that you are.
I thought it
No,
was delete your.
remember very clearly.
I'm looking for it actually.
Investigative journalist.
Do you understand?
Investigative journalist.
But yes, he did that.
Melody
He did that.
Hundein.
Yeah, he did that.
So what's the story behind that?
You're there already?
Yes.
He's correct. He
Oh, you are lying. Fake news.
No. He said, as we don't prove
Community
una-
notes.
As we don't prove una wrong, kindly update your group chat.
Yes.
As I've done this.
Let's start there.
Actually, let's start from there.
I don't know. I guess this is zero condition. So
There's no condition.
There's no condition.
Say let's just be going.
so when we're doing that that particular show, there were a lot of group chats going on. Industry folks. Our industry is very messy. And no one likes to hear it. No one likes to say it. But it's a very messy industry.
Yeah, it is.
And even those who claim to be your friends are not your friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I'm sure nobody's shocked.
bro, go find your friends at home.
God loves you.
You understand?
Yep.
Make sure you love that home.
Absolutely. So we're hearing things. I was hearing things. Even
I was
those
hearing things too.
Yeah, like they know they say you no go pop,
go fill up.
you no go fill up. The other place go empty. They struggle. They do sale. They do this. They do that. Even those that were my guys.
Really?
We'll be in Nigeria and they'll call those in America to have conversations about the show.
Like,
You
what
know,
kind of conversations?
conversations like there were two-sided conversations. That
Okay.
do they do. I would say go feed you. I did say they go feed you Madison Square Garden by themselves. Although we've pulled them several times because we've done many arenas by ourselves.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they did not believe it was going to work, and they also some people were doubting David, and some people were doubting our company to concept. And it got to my hearing, which kind of pissed me off. Well, David's doubt that's David and his team's problem because I'm sure every artist goes through that. But for us, and for those who I thought were my guys, I was surprised. Like even if you think that the show is struggling, maybe you should be asking me how you guys doing and how you guys intend to do. So we had to prove that. Listen, we're not here. This is not a fluke. We're not here we're not playing. It's no hanky panky. We will do it. We will sell it out. We will show the world that we actually know what we're doing. It doesn't have to be a foreign company to do it before it is successful or before it is done right. And that's what we've proved for the past 10 years. You know that.
Yeah, I do.
So that's really the summary.
But the conversation about what's the word now? What's the obsession with sold out when it comes to this?
It's very good question.
What's that about?
The problem is that a lot of these Twitter people, they are in a different world. I don't know where they come from, to be honest with you. I'm
They
not.
come from Afrobeats.
I'm not a Twitter person, so when I go on Twitter, I'm like, these people. It's not they smoke the same thing, or they're just a bunch of people in the same room tweeting, because it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
They don't even understand what sold out means, right? Yeah. Because if I have the way arenas work, I could structure the arena to be, there's 50 seats in the arena venue, and if we sell out those 50 seats, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Because remember, those arenas are set up for basketball and stuff.
Yep.
So it's one particular setup. If you set up the arena for 10,000, it sells out. Although there's a maximum capacity,
Yes.
right? However, some arenas also have up and lower and upper bowl, and you can sell out the lower bowl. Sometimes you say sold out, you've sold out the lower bowl.
Yeah.
But people get confused. They don't understand it. And also, they feel like every single seat, everyone should be able to pull the full capacity to sell out. Every artist have his own strength.
You mean maximum capacity now?
Yes,
No. I think
maximum sellable capacity.
Okay. Maximum sellable
yes.
capacity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But even at that, the Americans also structured their stuff different.
Okay.
Because there's a 180 degrees and there's 360. Most of our artists still play 180 degrees, where it's 180 degrees end stage. Yeah. But when it's in the middle, you do × 2 of when you have it at the edge.
Yeah. That's 360.
That's 360.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even though us where they brag, we know they do reach Americans. Americans sell out Madison Square Garden 3 nights back to back.
Yeah.
360.
360.
Yes.
So the one that we do, which one do we do? Like for the
Most of the arena shows we do is 180. So which means the stage is at the end, then the back seats behind are closed. So from that side forward is where we sell.
So we don't do like the entire capacity.
We don't do the 360. It's still entire based on structure, the way it's arranged.
Okay.
But we don't do 360 because that's a lot of tickets.
So as a person, like you've literally done it all when it comes to like this touring thing for artists, for the Afrobeat artists. You're the one with the numbers. You're the
Yes.
one with the truth. It's not Twitter.
Yeah.
You understand? Like,
yes.
even me, I'm just watching the videos. I'm not there. Is it true that when it comes to the touring, when it comes to this, selling out all of these things, is it true that Burna Boy is the only Afrobeat artist that has been able to or like Burna Boy or Whiskey, or they're the only ones who can sell out, or every time you've pulled out, like even like the Davido concert thing, it was actually sold out. It's not like you guys were trying to create any narrative.
Correct. So I think what people don't understand first is that I work with all of them.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is that every artist have their own strength
Yeah.
in different markets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Flavor goes to Liberia and sells at a stadium.
Yeah.
That's an example, right?
Yes.
But he wouldn't. He goes to Suriname and has quite a huge amount of people come out for him as well.
Yeah.
But it might not. That strength might not be the same strength in what do you call it, in the United States.
Yeah.
He goes to Enugu, he does the stadium. Even Fino goes to Enugu and does the stadium, but they cannot do that in Lagos. So that's just the same thing. So every artist has their strength, and each artist, when they're in that region, tend to sell more tickets. Right? That's really what it is. But who has taught the most? Now we also have to understand every artist and how their artistry is set up. Brother is a touring artist.
Yep.
Yeah.
So because he's a touring artist, there is a tendency for him to sell more tickets because he does more shows. He has the energies for more shows. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. So it's not an issue of comparison. Wizkid is a guy that doesn't come out all the time. It's like a masquerade.
Yep.
So when he decides to come out, he comes out and he does his thing and he goes back
And
indoors.
goes back in.
And maybe he goes back to Twitter recently.
So does that mean that? Shout out to the whole of Afrobeats. Does that mean that when someone is a touring artist and part of their brand is performance, people are more inclined to want to go? There's more tendency for people to want to see them live. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't put it that way.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, we're clearly, if you're a touring artist,
There's a reputation.
there's a reputation of touring.
Yeah.
But in my explanation, what I was trying to say is he doesn't get tired.
Yeah.
He's on the road and he wants to be on the road, and
He enjoys it.
So yeah, and to support that, you have to keep releasing albums, the next album year to year and stuff. So his structure, it's set up differently from the others.
Yeah.
The others can, if they want to, do the same thing, but whether we're successful or not, that's
We don't know.
we can tell, right? But he rather be on the road, and I think his music is also at this point in time has also crossed
I
over
agree.
a little bit more, because there's a time where it was David at some point,
Yeah.
the time where it was Wizkid at
Wiz.
some point. It's everybody has a time, right?
Yeah.
Where they're the loudest.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, it was Wiz,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Yep.
So they all doing fantastic. They're very well. And when you have your moment, remember when we announced the Wizkid tour right
Yeah.
after the pandemic,
Yeah.
and it sold
Yeah.
out in minutes.
Yeah.
Yup.
Like,
You know,
literally seconds.
Seconds.
yeah, seconds.
Literally.
Like he had to add extra days.
Correct.
Literally.
So that's why I said they all have their different strength and grace.
So simply put, the idea of one person selling out a certain place faster or being able to pull more shows than the other person is not necessarily because of one person is a better artist. It's just where you have more fans. And it's also because you are known for performing. It's not because one person does not.
Sometimes it might not be done for fun, but they want to see you
Just you're hot.
because you're hot at that point in time. So it's also the time and season, right?
Yeah.
So for every one of them have their strength,
Yeah.
and whatever women, they don't care. They just want to see Wizkid and they're fine. Oh, Popsy, you know.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what they at that point in time, what they're craving for. Now, Rema is buzzing.
Yeah.
The young guys are not playing with Rema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rema is the new star to them. They don't even
Yeah.
care about the
Yeah.
people that we care about. They're
Yeah.
just like, oh, Rema, and they're like, oh my God, now you have a Shakir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It depends on the time. Depends on the music, right? And also depends on also the fans, the particular fans. Some fans love a particular thing.
Yep.
You know, there's some fans that like the whole lifestyle of Davido. Some like the whole Michael Jackson stuff of Burna Boy. Some like the whole woman soft thing
Afrobeats.
of
Sugar Daddy.
you know? So it's just whatever works for everyone.
Who has the most rabid fans on the road?
Most what? Rabbit?
No, let me say rabid, but who has the wildest fans in performance that you've seen?
Real life?
Yeah, real life.
Huh. We know it's Naira Marley now.
Really?
No, like on the road, like maybe the person that you have planned a concert for, an event for, and the fans like went in, like they were all over. They were doing
like
the most.
proper.
Oh, not that they were
Crazy.
radical.
I mean, radical
Radical.
could work.
Okay, if I say radical, yeah, if you say radical, then you say Naira Marley because
Wow.
I remember when he did DC, there was no chill. They
So like how many years ago?
2019.
Like it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Not so
Oh.
far. Not so far. The only time I did this was maybe like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Those who represent the streets actually attract the streets.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like it's easy.
In all forms.
Yes, in all forms. So when you represent the street, what do you expect? So the caliber of people that it wasn't my show anyway, but the caliber of people
okay.
that kind of the pool is typical.
Different.
Yeah. Olamide had the streets, but the difference was Olamide had the balance.
Yeah.
Olamide's audience was very balanced.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bado,
Shout out
by
to
the way,
Bado.
my guy.
Adoli.
Bado.
Bado.
He had a way of blending the streets with posh, and
Yeah, he did.
and it was intentional with how we approached the stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I would say that I'm still thinking about it, but also because we also don't. For us at the concept, we're also particular about where we do where we do our shows in the States.
Yeah.
So that helps to eliminate a certain kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
We go to the downtown and stuff to do shows. So
Yeah.
some people will not. They know that you can't come there and fight.
Yeah.
They know that once you come there, there's proper security.
Yeah. Proper show, proper venue.
Proper show, proper. You are taking me somewhere else. You are taking me somewhere else. They can't even go where I don't know.
We are going to get to that. Proper show, proper venue. Anyway, a lot of people think you're American. Do you know that?
That I'm American?
Yeah.
How? Oh,
No.
those that don't know me.
Yeah, the people that
Not
don't
with the accent. Wait, I got American accent.
I mean, the people don't hear you speak a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't speak a lot. This is my first podcast ever
I mean,
Why did you decide to do it?
because he bullied me into it. Yeah, I didn't. He didn't show me the. So, as a matter of fact, he did not show me the flyer. I just saw it on Instagram. And I'm like, listen, because he knows that I don't like podcasts.
yeah.
Why don't you like podcast?
Because you guys make me say things I'm not supposed to say.
that you said.
But I'm gonna ask me what I'm not supposed to ask me. No, I will get person for Wahala. I can't collect my daily bread. I can't use a play.
Play Tico.
Tinko.
No.
But there's been a lot of conversation around touring, and I think that I don't know if it's an Afrobeat thing, I don't know if it's a touring thing. I think that there's so much energy around selling a narrative.
Yeah.
When people go on tours, they come back and say, "Oh, I made ones, I made this."
I came back and bought a Bentley.
I
later.
shut down. First off, on the money side of thing, when Davido did his thing, he came back and said he got paid $1.3 million at MSG. Is that true? You signed the check.
So David makes a lot of money and makes a lot of money on touring, by the way. For sure.
Yeah.
And you have to listen to that again on what he said.
Okay.
But I won't comment on those
Figures.
particular figures. Because what he just said was what he made. What he made could be referring to what he grossed. Or that's a whole different conversation. But David makes a lot of money. The big three, they make a lot of money.
Of course
But
they
I don't
do.
want to speak on what they make and what they don't make.
You know what I'm clocking?
What?
I've been accusing him of having money.
Oh, Lord. I don't have.
He's been denying the wealth.
Do you understand?
He's been
Because it's like-
denying. See the shoes
No,
and
but you
knitting.
know that there's always
my
conversation
God.
about how much money these things make.
My
Why
problem
do you
is
want to know how
he's
much
trying-
does anybody know how much you make?
Who am I?
Duke doesn't want it to be known that he's a very, very wealthy man.
I beg you.
You are
I
a very
beg.
wealthy
I'm
man.
not. I'm
But
just
you're
a
not broke,
businessman.
though. Yeah, what?
I'm just a businessman.
Making money.
Ha.
Doing the number one Afrobeat shows in Afrobeats.
But it's actually amazing to see, like, forget about even the money or
Yeah.
like the numbers and everything.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing that we are able to do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a Nigerian that is doing this. You know how they say that when we talk about the
Media.
the exploitation of our sound and the
telling
raw-
of our stories.
and and the global appeal.
Yeah.
There's always this conversation about, oh, it got popular when this person jumped on it, when an Americaner jumped on
Correct.
it, when
Yeah.
a foreigner jumped on it. Oh,
Yeah.
we can only do something well when a foreigner does it. Like, why will a Nigerian organize this? But you have been able to do it year in, year out for different artists. You
I'm
see
already
people
on fire.
come and go. What has kept you working with these guys? Because
Proving everyone wrong. So you see this thing you said there? It has not stopped. We have a lot of us,
Yeah.
even our artists, still look for Western validation.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they would have a Duke, and some of them would still prefer to work with
The white
a foreign
person.
company.
Yep.
Even if there was an artist that said something, and he said one company offered him something. I told him I'll match it. Now, his expectation was that I would say, the money burns. I said I'll match it. He didn't reply me.
Wow.
He didn't. But they don't want to. I don't even know if we like ourselves
I don't think so.
as Nigerians. I don't know if we like ourselves.
I don't think so.
Because you see an opportunity where somebody gives you the same quality as a stranger that you don't know. Right? But you rather go with that stranger rather than patronizing the other person's business.
Don't you think some people argue that it's a preference thing?
Tolani, even preference.
It's not a preference.
Some people will even argue that it's a trust thing. Sometimes, let's not. It's fine for us to applaud ourselves for doing fantastic things,
Yes.
but let's not also forget that when it comes to quality, right? A lot of times, people are of the opinion. It might also be from a place of we not even putting our own self on a pedestal or
Yep,
not believing
it
in
is
ourselves.
from that.
Yes, now
But let's not
that's
see that.
see finish.
Is this see finish?
See
But
finish.
Now see
okay,
finish.
in the record,
Yeah.
in like lots of times people will say that when you work with Nigerians in certain things, it's like when they are saying, or when they're trying to build a house, they will be cutting costs. They won't buy the cement. They won't buy the quality cement. They won't buy it. So people also have the opinion. Might have the opinion that I would rather work with a foreigner who's going to put together these events because he will pay attention to the tiny details. Nigerian man just want to make money.
Yes, now I agree. Fair enough. But when you hear of the concept, have you ever heard that the concept did this mago
Talk your
or
shit.
put them in a place where the AC is not,
Talk
or
your
put them on the have you ever heard?
Talk your
It's not possible. Because one thing I insist,
It's
if you know how
quality.
much we spend, we don't chase. We want to make $10 billion in one show. We have to give you the quality.
Because it's a reputation.
Yes. I don't play with quality. So any artist that speaks and they don't do that, do you think that Bona or Bona's mom does not play with quality? You know now.
Even
Yep.
going as an artist does not even play
Yep.
with quality.
Namix
Yep.
does not play. Namix will tell you straight up.
And this is rubbish, bruh.
She will tell you straight. And you think that I'll still do business with them for 10 years?
That's the shit.
You think that?
Talk your shit.
Or you think
10
Davido will
years.
want that?
Yeah.
Even Rema is so particular.
Yeah, obviously.
He is.
Rema will walk off. So it's not a fluke. This is not we do today, tomorrow we no. I remember we were talking about America.
Yeah.
So for you to succeed in America for that long, you have to be doing something right.
Yeah.
So our people know who to work with. They know that Duke Concept is the best worldwide.
He just stamped it.
We even
Duke Concept is the best.
We even do.
Please.
Please. We even do more than these white people will do for them because we'll be with you from beginning to the end. They will leave you on the road and every day you'll be meeting different people. But we'll be with you. We'll have somebody with you to help you. Because when you want to go and find the love rights, what will you go and find it in Denver?
Inside high altitude.
You know what I mean? When you there, you go. Little things like that. There's some things where we go. Do you know there's some things that cost an arm and a leg?
Yeah.
There's something that they require of the artist. I'll give you an example. Architectural drawing. There's something when we do arenas, they'll ask us to get a card drawing.
Yeah.
And that card drawing alone, if we allow the people to do it, it costs me about $20,000 for one simple card drawing.
Jesus Christ.
Now, at the end of the day, when they do them now, they will tell the artist here, now this is they spend, they come out from the artist's money.
Yeah.
But as a sharp Nigerian man, we know as we do them.
Yeah.
We go with the higher architect from here.
Yeah.
So we have done two things. We have provided a job for somebody here,
Yes.
and we have also
cost.
cut cost.
So why not?
Because for me, I want make the artists make money go out.
Yeah.
I don't want a situation where you say, all
You
for
don't make
all
money.
days you didn't make money. So think about it. If you have your Nigerian that understands your culture, that understands you, and understands how much flight ticket is from Lagos to New York, it will help you cut cost.
Sorry, you said what's the thing they said that the person is supposed to draw? I used to draw. Is it
They say card.
You want to
auto card.
When I give you 1K, Abi? You collect like 10%.
Tell me when you're doing the next concert, I will learn that sketch from now.
She said that
Take
sketch.
cardboard
The
paper.
babe, they hustle.
She said that
for-
sketch.
She won't
Oh my
collect
God.
money. All the money on the table.
But
I mean,
yeah, go on, go
so
on.
people think you're American. I've heard a lot of people that say, but it's Nigerian American. I'm happy to tell them that, nah.
What did you mean by American?
Because it's the mystique.
Because I don't show my face.
It's the mystique, yeah.
And because the name
It's
push,
mystique.
the name just.
Yeah,
And-
do
yeah.
one, yeah.
The name is very posh.
Yeah.
The pocket I wear around for you. Data man. I will give us. What do you want to make a color before? Ogboro Entertainment.
You go.
That's the name of this episode. Ogboro
It
Entertainment.
doesn't make sense. You package that when you go to Rome, you behave like the robbers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
What's your story? Let people know the story.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born in Asaba, Delta State. I went to my high school was St. Patrick's Asaba SPC. Same high school with Chuba Kadibo, late Chuba Kadibo.
Oh wow.
We're not the same year though.
No,
Don Jazzy's dad is also. I actually just found out. I was on dinner with him the other day.
Oh wow.
I found out it's alumnus of
same
St.
school.
Patrick's as well. Yeah, we have great. See, we have great people. Myself as well.
Hey.
So, so I schooled in Asaba. Then I went to Madonna University,
Okay.
where I studied to be a priest. Sorry, where I studied. That joke. Now calm down.
Priest, bro.
I was like, what?
Where where I studied electronics engineering.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was working in Lagos for a bit. I was working on a deal Deco. Funny enough, I was working on Mobitel.
Yeah, I know.
When I came, I was like, where the Mobitel be? They say, which Mobitel? I said,
Don't go.
Mobi waiting.
Don't
But the
go.
company and the building don't go. So, so we're one of the engineers at Mobitel before I relocated to the States.
What made you relocate to the States?
See, if I tell you that story, I don't want to go. I didn't want to go to this. I wanted to. I was fine living in Lagos. I was a big boy, so I thought. So I moved to the. I went to the state when my parents lived there. My entire family lives there. My brothers,
Yeah.
my sisters. I was the last to leave. So when my green card came out, my sister pushed that in, and so I had to come out for her wedding.
But you got a green card straight up and you still rejected it.
Yeah, I didn't see the reason to go to America.
Come on, it's nice to have some privileges.
I didn't see the reason to where I had a job.
But that's
another perspective.
Yeah, that's perspective.
That's another
That's another
perspective. Because even
perspective.
people that do not even have green card, that have like
Comfort.
regular paying
Yeah.
job
Comfort.
here, they'll be like, why do I have to go
Wow.
and be hustling another
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
They don't even have green
If
card.
you
They're
don't
like,
feel,
why?
also for America, forget it.
Uh-huh.
You can't. You know, so and I said, okay, you know what? So when I left, my family said I was relocating. I said I was going on vacation. So I didn't quit my job.
Yeah,
I was
I remember
on
that story.
leave. You know, and I said, let me go to my sister's wedding and see if I like it. I got there, I wasn't looking for a job. I did chill. My dad was helping me. My dad was helping me look for a job. The man doesn't take no for an answer. So he was helping me find a job.
I can hold you down.
Oh, my dear. He now found one job for me. So when he found the job, I said, make a kukuma go start. When he found one, this time was too fast, I no do am. He now found another one. Pay was good. I said, okay, make I go start work. Make I say offer. Omo, when I first do the conversion, I say, are you sure that this
It's
is
not blood money.
I got the reason am. So that job, I not stay reach 6 months. I now got. By the way, my dream job was to work in Verizon. When I was living here, I said, God, if you want me to start America, give me work for Verizon Wireless. You know. So when I didn't stay up to 4 or 5 months in that first job, I applied for Verizon Wireless and I got a job at Verizon Wireless as an engineer.
What year was this?
Jesus, 2011, 2012.
This was just 2011.
Yeah.
That's a spectacular rise, though.
Yeah. You know, so I got a job at Verizon Wireless, and that's how I started. So I was working as an engineer there, and I couldn't get that small money, can't see this Afrobeats. So I went to a show. I think it was 2020. That's from 2011 when I came. I went to Inyanya's show in DC. One of that shows.
Were you staying in DC?
No, I stayed in New York.
Okay.
But I couldn't go to the one in New York because I remember I was preparing for one certification exam then Cisco, CCNA or so. You know, so I went to DC. And when I got to DC, the way the guy was doing the promoter, where he did it, I said, this did not make sense. In 2010 or 2010, I think, Asha performed at Sound City. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
The one Sound City event they did. Asha performed. That was the last concert I attended before leaving
Lagos.
That concert was in my. I remember very well because I bought VIP for my cousin, and my aunt kept saying, "You can afford buying VIP."
Big man.
That concert was so good
And well organized.
and well organized. It was. I was like, "Oh my god!" Now when I now go to the States, they do show Afrobeat for warehouse. Why? Hot. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're like, what's going
It's
on
gonna be
here?
like Buddy. He
It's
hot.
always like, then if you see the nightclubs, small and the location. In fact, they were not allowing us do parties in Manhattan. In
Upper East Side.
yeah, you have to go to the those Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. You cannot. Manhattan was for white people. They were not
Upper East Side. It's Upper East Side.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just they could Afrobeat. So I was like, no, something has to change. For even Apollo Theater to reply me took them 3 years.
What?
Yeah.
And do you think it's because you're a black man?
Yes, but because you're trying to sell, because you're a black man one, but because you're also trying to sell Afrobeats. Because you know, there's one thing being a black man, there's one thing being a black Nigerian.
Artist.
Something being a black man.
Yes.
There's another thing being a black
Nigerian.
Nigerian.
Yes.
Two different level of struggle.
And then
Correct.
there's another thing being a black Nigerian artist.
Yes.
Doing
It's
a genre that
it's
wasn't selling yet.
Correct. It's now
Yes.
that everybody's rushing us.
Yeah.
And then they rush us.
we can't do
We
unrush
all die.
Yeah.
We self can't do unrush ourselves.
Oh my dear.
Say
But
no-
then it was terrible. Shout out to people like Big A, who were the ones who were doing shows then. They were even though they were doing it as
was
much as
Big
they
A.
could, but
Yeah.
that's what they could do at that point.
Yeah.
At the time.
At the time, because there was not so much money in the business,
Yeah.
and how many people could afford to take a risk?
Not a lot of people.
You know. So when I came in, I was very intentional with it. I said to myself, I wanted to make a change. I wanted to put them in the right rooms. Although I knew I had to start from what they knew,
Yeah.
and move them up gradually. You know, so we did we did our first show, KC Limpopo. In fact,
Where?
in New York. Was that our first show? Yes, that was our first show. We did KC Limpopo in New York.
That was before the Timaya show?
Oh yeah, this was before the Timaya show. Timaya show like fourth show or so.
Okay.
And that show pulled about 700 people. So 700 and something, 790. It was so good. That was when Casey dropped, "Park, baby, you pull over."
Yeah.
So Casey, Harry song. And people were like, who is this guy? But remember, we first did the official launching where the Prince, actually,
the
great guy,
Prince.
my brother, it was a lot of hurdle getting him to come because a lot happened.
Yeah.
You know, supposed to perform in the show before me, then I'll bring him in. Then that show got cancelled, so I'm now stuck. But I'm like, I still need you to come because I cannot start my launch by saying the guy that I'm said will be coming would not come. They will never trust you. So that was my first lesson on my first event. Though it was a club event, it was just a startup party. Then after that, I now did the first concert, which is Casey.
Yeah.
After Casey, guess where we went next?
Where?
Burna Boy. Sorry, Davido. Yeah, Burna was not.
Which leads to an interesting story.
After Casey, we did Davido's very first show in
2013.
Was it 2013 or
2013.
No, it wasn't 14. It probably was 14 actually. I don't remember dates now. Well, we now did 2014, March 2014 was when we now did Davido and the HKN gang
gang.
at the Pulse 40th. That's it.
God damn.
I was looking at it today actually, and that was Davido's very first show. Now, this is where I got my first beat and the first lesson. Story. This is when I said, welcome to the music business. You know, everybody thinks that it's all it's all
It's all
sweet,
fun and games.
all fun and games. So now we had David. We just did Kiss in the same place. Now, first of all, after doing Kiss, everyone's eyes is on you now. Who's this new guy? Who's this new guy? Who's this new guy? Then we now announce Davido. I paid Davido in 2014 $22,000.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Well, bruh.
2014.
$22,000.
How did you raise the money first?
Wait.
No, wait. We'll get there.
Please tell the story.
I not do Yahoo, but I come to that.
We'll get there, but
And the whole America, all the American promoters ganged up against me. All of them ganged up. He's overpaying the artist. We have to cut down this. We have to restrict how much the artist is getting paid for $22,000.
are they Nigerians or like?
I said
Yes.
all the African promoters, all Nigerian promoters,
Yeah.
all Nigerian promoters in all the cities of America. They were fighting this one man.
Now why would you pay them?
That's why did I pay them my own money, $22,000. The only people that sold for me, if I remember very clearly, was Peter Lentini in LA and DJ D Money in Chicago. And they were like, and they said, we have to put a cap to what the artist earns, which is unrealistic and that's stupid. You can't do that. But that's not the end of the story. When everybody's against you and the whole world is against you,
God is for you.
God is for you. But sometimes that against they bring negative vibe come. So David was so hot. That was David's first show. But David was so hot. The venue that we used for Casey was where we used for David. But remember, back in the days, we were not selling out ahead. Most people don't buy tickets ahead.
They buy on the day.
They buy on the day of the event.
Yeah.
More people showed up than could enter the hall.
Yeah.
There were more people outside than were inside. It was so packed. I've never seen any show packed that way. That when me and David, I remember we pulled up. I went to the hotel. Then we came back with David and we couldn't enter. And remember, we're still trying to navigate to the proper venues that it needed to be. So there's a way to get to the stage. There was no back entrance on that venue.
So you have to enter from the front.
They go upstairs. Oh my God, Prosperity was so stressful. But when we got there, like, what the hell?
What's happening here?
It was so bad that they broke the door and bombarded. Yes, and this is America, by the way. They broke the door and all rushed in. But even at that, people that were still outside were still more than those that were inside.
Jesus Christ.
It was packed. I don't know how many people were there. Now,
And what's the capacity?
I don't think that place could take more than 1,000, if I remember. But I think we probably had 3,000 people in there. It was a disaster. That's when I first got my first free press in Nigeria. So now, they will now have to get David on stage. Remember then, David used to work with like 72 disciples. He has come down. What we see now is his cut down version. Now he has cut the cost of governance.
He has reduced cost of government. He travels light.
Yeah, he travels light. Now, by the way, the stage is already filled up. Now, David pulls up and goes straight on stage with his many disciples, and the stage is so choked. Now, they said one or two people fainted. I don't even know. I didn't see anybody faint. But someone calls the fire department. While David was performing, the fire department came and shut down the show.
God damn.
That's when I got my first beating.
Who beat you?
No, beating, not
physical beating.
But, the people that were waiting to drag me, the way they dragged me,
Nigerians.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Do you think some people paid press to make that happen?
They did. They supported it themselves, and there's some paid press to carry it.
Interesting.
So, do I stop there?
No.
Where do you want me to talk up to now?
Proper show, proper venue.
I don't know. What happened to proper show?
Was Davido upset?
About what? David was not upset. Remember that was his first show as well.
Yeah, it was.
We're just starting up.
You're trying it out.
Afrobeat was just starting up then. It wasn't. In fact, David called me most packed. So when he says most packed, we know what you're talking about. Because of that particular show. No other show has been that packed.
It's just incredible that in 2014, that's 10 years ago, Davido is collecting 22,000 for a show.
I
That
can't.
was- that was his first
I didn't
show.
even think
For his
that.
first show, that's one. Number two, he's still at the top in 2024. That is
Yes.
that is insane.
Yes.
Yup.
Yes. He's done very well.
Yes.
For himself.
That is
The
insane.
run is ridiculous.
And the kind of money he's making now, eh?
It's insane.
Ooh, sometimes I want to be an artist.
How do you pay these guys?
Yeah, in
Like-
dollars.
No,
No, I
he knows what Father was saying.
funding like
He
funding the
knows.
show.
He
You guys
knows.
want you guys want to fund us? We need investors. Oh,
Gang,
the,
gang.
the first
We need-
event that you did that you paid Casey, was it from your pocket?
it was from my pocket.
From where?
So
like-
I was working as an engineer. I had a
Okay.
very good job. So I saved money up. So my job. There's something. So I know, as I told you, if you don't live in America, you can't. If you don't know how to hustle, you cannot live in America.
Yeah.
People don't know this, but I used to work 16 hours a day, sometimes 5 days a week.
Were you
When I
married?
was an engineer. No, I wasn't married then. When I was an engineer, there was so much overtime. There was so much work, so there was so much overtime. There's a week during Hurricane Sandy. I was still an engineer then. That I worked 100 and something hours.
No fucking way.
Yes. And my colleagues, we used to call it blood money. And you see people make so much money, and some of them will use it to just go buy cars. My colleagues could drive exotic cars, like very expensive cars. I like luxury,
yeah.
but I have a little bit of P2B in me. What does that even mean, God? So that means that if I'm, instead of me to go carry that money and go and buy a car first, that will diminish. I felt, okay, you know what? Let me invest this money so that you give birth to something for me.
Before I can.
When I give birth, let me
I'll now
invest
use
again before I now use that. So, you know, so while my colleagues were buying cars and, you know, buying houses then, well, houses is a good investment, but some of them bought houses that they lived in today that were not really, I don't think were smart investments. But I was investing my money.
You were saving, like Arasta's mother said, go and buy something.
Yeah. So I was building the company. I was investing in the company. That's how I was making money.
What was your first hire
In what sense?
to do concept?
Oh, job wise. And on my team.
Yeah.
Who first joined the team? So we have many people have gone through us, but I don't know who came in. If it's before Dr. Abi or Temi, but both of them stand to be very significant to our success story.
Are they still with you?
Well, Temi still consults for us.
Okay.
Because Temi's a big girl.
Yeah.
She does a lot. She does a lot. Yeah, you know now, Temi Teni's daughter.
Yeah.
So she still consults for us. But she's very, very instrumental to how far we've gone. And Dr. Abi is the reason why I'm actually in Lagos, because she just got married. And she's a doctor of nursing now. So proud of her. She was very young when she joined. In fact, she couldn't enter the club when she joined me.
Mad.
She was my assistant then. Yeah. And I remember times where she would encourage me, where we would just finish a show and we're looking at ourselves. We know money was not made.
You've had such moments.
There's still shows where we don't make money. That we look so packed. You know? But that's business. We do a lot of shows now, so we just figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were those days where we'll be like, you know, I know there's somewhere you're coming to, but I know where you're waiting for me to land so you can take me to where I don't know.
I won't take you there, I promise. I won't take you there.
But yeah, there were days
I
like
won't
that.
take you
So
please.
Dr. Abi and Samia, they are one of those that are very instrumental.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people who have come along the way. There's our IT guy, Kunle, who is fantastic in keeping sure that we have continuous traffic. Now we have since the last time I did an interview with
Yeah.
you, we have a lot of people now on the team, a lot of staff. That's been 5 years, I think. We've grown very well. We have a lot of new staff. Like, you'll be like, where are these people?
Do you run day to day, or do you have do you have the CEO do that?
No, I run day today. At this point, I have to run day today.
Of course. I think it's important.
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
important.
And we're growing very
Exponentially.
last year we did 200 shows.
200 shows.
Yeah.
Someone is opening their mouth.
Wait, so explain. So I need you to explain certain things. Two things. When you say that, so all your shows, are they only for Afrobeat artists?
Not all the time. We've done a tour with Coffee.
Okay.
We've done. I'm trying to think. We've done a show with Coffee.
But they're usually African artists.
But most of our artists are African artists from different countries. It could be. We've done Diamond, Tanzania.
Okay. Yeah.
We do some stuff with some Ghanaian artists, Kitty.
Yeah.
So not all the time, but yes. But we're open to doing everything. By the way. It's just that sometimes you're struggling with the powers that be, so you just did where you did.
Yeah.
Where you came out.
Yeah. So when you say 200 shows last year, how many artists? How? What's it?
So we do concerts in about 17 states in America.
Okay.
17 cities in America and 4 cities in Canada. They were also in the Caribbean, so they've done shows in Jamaica and Trinidad. So that's how the volume comes, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we have 3 shows going on at the same time. Different
Locations.
states. So it's a business of volume. If you really want to be successful, you can't just do one show, then run and come back. So as people talk, I'm like, there's no promoter in the world that does Afrobeat that does as much as we do. Maybe Bum Bum is trying now in Amsterdam. But in terms of volume, we do more. Everywhere in the world, go and check it.
When you those shows that you don't make money, how do you have such conversations with the artists like, guy, so this one we don't make money, or just like, pay me my money. You pay them before they, of course, you start selling the ticket, right?
So there are different type of deals. Yes. But regardless, they get their money. The artists don't renegotiate that.
If you like no sell, look.
If you like no sell, you get their money. Artists.
They will say, bro, yeah, I understand. Remove.
Artists.
Remove what?
When it comes to money, you don't do business with that. They are different kind of people. Z, you give them their money. Oh.
Have you told your employer to not pay you because economy is hard?
I know what you're saying though, because with all we do for them, they will expect. But that's the music business, fair enough.
It is.
Business generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's what it is.
So let's talk about these deals that you give artists when it comes to like.
No, before
She likes the money part. If you notice, she's been focusing on the money
because of the insights. Insights.
Is that why she likes the inside?
Yeah, I think it's the insight.
Are you sure it's the inside? Because it's only money she has been dragging me to. Take me to somewhere else, please.
So before we get to the money,
I'm thinking
I don't want us to lose train of thoughts on the journey.
Yeah.
Right? The journey. How are you working 100 hours, 80 to 100 hours a week, and you were still envisioning the concept? How?
You see, Nigerians are built differently.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
You need to see Nigerians in the States. Yeah. So we have 2-3 jobs. And the truth is, you go still they deliver for your job. It's not that you're doing a shitty job. Because even when I wanted to leave Verizon Wireless, they were laying off at some point. I could have said, Mona, fire me now. I need to go and focus on my company. Fire me so that you give me the little thing that you give as
package.
They refused to fire me. But I couldn't also perform badly because that's
not the mentality.
That's not the mentality.
Yep.
Right. But if you know where you're going and what you want, and I was young. Now I can't do, I can. Now I'm struggling to sleep. But now I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little bit older. I don't have as much stamina and as much strength as I used to have. But for somebody who was in my 20s, going towards 30, I had the energy and I knew where I was going. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to do. It was clear. My vision was clear from the jump. And even the Casey thing, I called Soso and I told Soso, I want to talk with Casey. I didn't say I want to do one show with Casey. I said I want to talk because my idea has always been touring. Yeah. And he said to me then, Biggie has already signed a contract. I said, okay, you know what? I'll get New York from Biggie. And that's how I got Casey. And I missed it. After I did Casey, I went and did a show in what do they call it? In DC with Flavor.
Yeah.
That's my second show. Yeah, I remember. That was good, but the promoter ripped me off because I wasn't strong in DC then. We were not based in DC.
So you have to go through someone else.
So, yeah, so I had to partner with somebody else, and the story long, but
Learnings.
yes. So the early beginnings.
Yeah.
But you were losing money. You were losing money on some things at this time, right? You were
Yes.
losing money, but that's personal money.
Yes,
Why did you continue?
it'd be like drug business.
When it booms.
Yes.
Please hold that thought. Guys, we're about to go on a break. Still here with us is Mr. Osita Ugeh, aka Duke, aka Duke Concept, number one show promoter in Afrobeats.
In
Giving
the
us-
world, you have to be
giving
acting
us-
in the world. Though.
Giving us a
Number one show promoter in the world.
period.
Period. If you like, come and fight me, it's fine. I don't give a shit. The show continues while we're on this break. Whatever you miss, it's going to be out on Monday on all streaming platforms, however you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
You can also get it on YouTube, on video, and everywhere else that you can dream of, including Audiomack and Boomplay. This show is still brought to you by Chivas Regal. Buy a bottle of Chivas Regal XV and enjoy it and give us feedback. Send us emails about the things you're thinking about. Melody is going to check it. and
Wow.
make us
Why
happy.
is the melody doesn't melody?
See you soon, guys.
But we're still here though. Yeah. So
So when we're on a break, it's still going.
yeah, so you can continue to
So
talk.
this is break for TV.
But the podcast
Yeah, but the
continues.
podcast continues.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're losing money.
I thought we would stand up and walk around. The
No.
Okay. Yeah. Where did we stop?
We're losing money.
We're losing money.
And you
Yeah, I
continued.
continued. That's the business. Business takes a while to pick up, so you have to understand how business works. I'm a guy who, I read. So I knew that the beginning was not going to be easy. Davido I made money though, even though it was shut down. But hey, that's the business. We just continued. We make some, we lose some.
Did you celebrate making that money?
No, because the show I would have preferred if the show was successful.
Yeah. More than the money being
Yeah.
made.
Because that almost dented our brand.
Yeah.
Now, remember, we're a new company then.
Yeah.
And so there was an opportunity for everyone to try to take us down.
Yeah.
When you have these bad days, what do you do?
I sleep.
Do you go to a shouting room?
No, I don't do shouting rooms. Actually, I go to God in prayer. Actually, I'm a guy who believes in prayers a lot, and
Yeah.
prayers let me toss far. So
Yeah.
I don't know what shouting rooms. Sometimes I feel like it's a Gen Z
It is.
thing because it's a new thing. It's not.
Yeah.
not-
Yeah. No, it's always been a thing.
Wait,
It's
everyone
not
always
shouts.
maybe not the
shouting
rooms,
rooms.
but shouting as a therapeutic.
Oh, it is.
cathartic
I
thing.
don't know. They know
Has always been a thing.
when they grow up. They
No, the only reason I know is
Shouting
because of
therapeutic?
movies. Yeah, it kind of is.
I
It's
didn't know those
letting
ones.
loose.
You know, say even therapy says they black man say
Very
go therapy
cathartic.
for America. They look you see what they so.
But you've been dealing with Afrobeat artists for many years. Do you have a therapist?
I actually need one.
But you don't have yet.
I don't. My therapist is my God.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or maybe my wife because she's the one that hears the rants. Why you still
Actually.
working with this? You just complain about me. Why you still working with this?
That's a
Real.
woman. That's the
Real.
most woman thing
Real.
ever.
You keep complaining about
you are
this
still
person, but you
doing
keep
it.
going back. Is this Stockholm syndrome? Do you have to go back? You be like, you don't understand. No, you don't have to. Such a woman thing. Such a partner thing to say.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
a partner
it is.
thing.
Only woman.
So, a little bit further, right? Before you left Lagos, though, were you doing shows already?
No, so it wasn't even there. If I tell you that story, so I moved to after college. I moved to Calabar to try and do shows. No, I first tried. I first tried to do a show in Asaba. I remember I registered Duke Entertainment in Asaba then. So I tried to do a show in Asaba. The hurdles of doing a show. I remember very vividly that I needed to do a show in Grand Hotel. The executive director of Grand Hotel then, late Senator Francis Wanje, was a
R.I.P.
good friend of ours. My was our godfather actually. So I told him he was a support. We're going to help me with the facilities and stuff. So I also needed the government support. So I told him I needed to speak to RMD. RMD was the commissioner of
Yeah, at the time.
entertainment
Art and culture.
Art and culture. Yes, that's the right one. So
Bless you.
to get RMD then, hey, my brother, I couldn't get appointment to see RMD. So I went to Chief. I said, Chief, say I want to see RMD. See, I guess you I want to. Say, I want to start this entertainment thing. You know, when you don't finish school like this now, you want to find a way to start beginning to hustle. Chief said, you are not able to see RMD. I said, no. He said, okay. He picked up his phone. He said, RMD, I heard you're now a big man now. Nobody can see you. I said, no, Chief, I'm in my office. He said, I'm sending my boy to you now. He said, no problem. Tell him to start coming. So I went straight to RMD's office. Very, very, very nice guy. He welcomed me, sat down. He asked me, so I told him everything. He said, okay, the government is going to support you, and I love this. I'm on now where I can't say, okay. So how far now? Which kind of support the government want to? He said they go stamp logo on top the flyer and
Go logo of what?
logo
The
of
ministry.
the Ministry of Agriculture. For my mind, I say more. My logo now made me define you since.
That's literally all.
Hey. So when I went back to my drawing table, and I decided I was going to take that into Calabar. So there was a Benin girl that was working with me then. I forgot her name. Because we finished from college together. So she said she was going to help me get sponsors.
Yeah.
So she tried to help me figure it out in that area.
Yeah.
You know, so I went to Calabar. I remember I was staying in Ikotansa in Calabar. But I was learning a little bit of Efik.
Yeah.
You know, and we're trying to go do shows. I was walking around Calabar trying to talk to sponsors. I don't know how to walk now. Just the waka around, the waka around, the
What's
waka
the fine
around.
sponsor?
Just the fine sponsors.
Dude, please hold that thought. Guys, we're back. Still Pop Central TV, channel 189 on DSTV. We're still live. You can catch us on Fridays at 10 p.m. This show is still brought to you by Chivas Regal. Buy a bottle of XV. And of course, it's still me, myself, and Melody. And we are still here with Duke Osita Ugeh, the #1 show promoter in the world.
Period. On the #1 podcast in the world. Period.
Okay.
That's on.
That's on period.
Please continue. Sorry to continue.
Where are they?
You stopped at the
You have to
place
go back
where-
to your drawing
You have to go
board.
back to your
Oh, so I went to my drawing board and said that I was going to move to Calabar to
Yeah.
go. So
Yeah.
I moved to Calabar for a bit. And I was trying to set up shows there. Money no the Calabar. Oh. No only during what did they call it?
Festival.
Argogon.
No, that's at the end of the year.
Calabar
Calabar
Carnival.
Only during Calabar Carnival. And at the government, they spend the money. All those meals, all those money, no they there. I say, hey. So when we now got there and I realized there was no money there, the girl that was working with me then, I'm trying to think of her name. She had a relative in government in Akwa Ibom. So she said, let's move it to you.
Oh.
Yes.
This was 2010.
This is 29 or 8, something like that.
Jesus.
I think it's 9. Was it 8? Wait, hold on. I'm losing my dates now. Probably 27 or 28. I don't know. One of those
Thereabout.
dates. Thereabout. So she said, I know this will happen very fast. So she said, let's move it to Uyo. So I said, okay. So she said she was going to see the commissioner to talk to the commissioner about it because, you know, she was referred from somebody. So I don't remember I was in Calabar then, waiting. I didn't go because she was just going to say, okay, give me feedback. So she went. We're going to do Genie. If you help me see Ego.
Okay.
You know, it was going to be a Valentine show.
Yeah.
You know, Gino was on standby. Gino was very cooperative. We're talking. He knew all we're going to. We're just the patient to trying to sort it out. So when she went to see the commissioner, and she called me after the meeting. It was that day I decided, Lagos, here I come.
Because they're like, what's all this?
She called me and she ranted. She was so pissed off. She was screaming. She was. I couldn't even make half of what she was saying. But the
Frustration.
the short part of the story is that what we see in the movies is not fake. The young responsible lady who went there to asked for
Solicit.
government. Yeah, was asked that she knows what. He said, but you know what to do now.
Wow.
It's been going on. And you know, and we just act like we don't, like it happens.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to go supply you nonsense. So she said to me, and I said, listen, my dear, begin go Bini, and they go Lagos.
You have
Let's
tried.
take more money, yeah. And she just went home from there. From the next few days, I just had my bag and baggages. I went to Lagos.
We're going to take it up now, right, to a very important arc in your career, right? Which is a very interesting day when a certain tweet came on from a certain Nigerian superstar that was tagged proper show, proper venue. Can you tell us the story behind that tweet?
Why do you think I know the story?
Because you are the architect of certain things that led.
How did you know? How did you know? This is the most investigative journalism you are doing here. Because it has been saying proper show, proper venue.
Proper show, proper
I knew
venue.
he was going somewhere. She's investigating the money, you are investigating the tweets.
Oh my God.
So how long do you save tweets?
This is not about saving tweets anyway.
But it was
because
it
of
was
the
a
moment at
viral
the time. It
conversation.
was a viral conversation at the time.
So, you know the truth, is that I don't even think that Wiz and David knows what transpired. It wasn't their fight. It was not their fight. So when I did
the David show.
the David show, the first David show, right, the one that was shot down.
Yeah.
So remember that when you were a new cat, story of cats,
When you're a new
You're a real
cat,
Afrobeats man.
story of cats.
when you're a new cat,
Yeah, when you're a new cat in the game, then I was a new cat. And you come with so much energy. Some people will be uncomfortable.
like who this?
Yes. And keep in mind, I did not school in America. At all.
To be like, he's privileged. He's a privileged boy.
Nobody even knew. They didn't even know I was Nigerian. So it was, who is this guy? That just came out from nowhere. So there was a problem. Promoters were hating, were ganging up. Some of them were friends now. But promoters were hating, were ganging up, which is natural because you're coming to competition, you know, from nowhere. And one of the promoters, a good friend of mine, because Canino, was the one who was trying to throw a jab. So they were doing Whiskey at Evan Plaza.
Yeah.
The one, the Live Nation venue that we use now for most of the shows. So they were doing Whiskey at Evan Plaza. And by the way, remember I had Davido in this venue. Whiskey's show was announced after Davido's show had played. And I had Davido that was oversold out, but because of the venue that it was,
Capacity, yeah.
correct, it was shut down. So, cause that these people were subbing that my show, not necessarily David.
Yeah, it was more about you.
It was more about me. So they tweeted and put in their hashtag on all their ads, proper show, proper venue.
So it's about the promoter.
Correct. So Wiz did not know. Wiz had no clue. Whiskey was not trying to sub anybody.
Oh!
No, he was not. I don't think he was.
Personally,
I don't think he was. Because what he just did was to
He
take
saw the hashtags.
the hashtags and he did the exact same thing that
everybody was
He
was
just
doing.
replicated it.
He replicated it. But it came like a sub to David.
Yeah, this
Does that
makes
make sense?
sense.
So that's why nobody can really explain what are they where did that come from? It was random.
But you see, like sometimes this beef is not necessarily like a personal
Direct.
thing.
Correct.
It's always things that don't even concern them that people now make a thing out of.
So that's why it's always the fans or people around.
Always
Or just like,
yeah.
Caused problems. I think it caused problems between the two of them.
yes, I remember they were going back
and forth at the time.
online for a
That was
bit.
2014, 2015.
Yeah.
That's 2014 exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the actual story
This
of
is the
what
actual
happened.
story.
That makes
So
sense.
it wasn't even about them.
It wasn't
about
about them. It was the promoters using the moment.
Yeah. It wasn't about them. They don't. I never discussed with any of them about it.
But
Because that's big man problem.
I promise.
Because I'm too busy to be arguing about tweets
Proper
and
show,
stuff.
proper venue.
Exactly. But it wasn't about them.
It wasn't about them. I mean, that makes sense.
That was it. That was
That was
like
a
headlines
moment.
in Nigeria.
It was
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah, I know.
It was a moment. As someone who has been in the touring business for years now, and you've been doing this, there's a conversation that has been ongoing in that space when it comes to concerts, when it comes to touring, that a lot of times when foreigners are going on world tour, they don't come to Nigeria. Why do you think that is?
We don't have the structure. We don't have the infrastructure.
And the facilities.
Nigeria could not host Bona's show last 2 years or so. And
that's why is that?
because they didn't
The
have
venue doesn't
so-
exist.
there's certain things that need to be put in place, right? The more our artists are advancing, the more the equipment's advancing, the more the technical part of it improves because they improve. They're saying world standard equipment. There are still a lot of shows now that if you ask what's this flight time,
Yeah.
they'll tell you that they have to import some of this equipment from South Africa. We still import equipment from South Africa. So all those who do big shows, there are some of these artists that need specific instruments. Like Bona's stuff needs to be imported most times. So that's exactly what happened the last show. So if we want to play on the world stage, we have to be ready to put money where our mouth is. We also don't have. I know there's an arena, the Lagos Arena, that is being built. That's good, but that's starting on a high note, right? What's happening to the theater? We have to build the touring space.
Yeah.
We have to build, the clubs. When I mean the clubs, not the nightclubs, the clubs, the smaller venues for shows.
Yeah.
Then build the theaters, and then you build the amphitheaters. Then talk of the arenas.
Yeah.
There has to be a touring structure built in. We don't have that. We have over 30 ticketing platforms. Still trying to figure out on the digital
what the mechanics are.
Yeah, right. So those little things are what needs to be looked into. We've not built. South Africa is still doing better
Yep.
than Nigeria when it comes to the live event space.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's still a lot of work to be done.
And then there's security and all that problems.
Oh yeah, there's security. The security part is interesting because when I was working in Mobitel, I remember you install a cell tower, and next day we're having issues. What happened? They've stolen.
Of course. You told Milan Bridge that
parts.
they just fixed. I saw in the news that they were arresting people that were already stealing things.
Stealing
Yeah,
things
they
on
still
Third
people
Mainland
stealing-
Bridge.
Just
stealing bolts,
days after
yeah.
they commissioned it,
Yeah,
they were
things like
stealing
that.
things there, and they arrested them with it. So you mentioned something about equipment, right? So when Nigerian artists or when some Nigerian artists refuse to perform in Nigeria, it's not because they don't love the fans. It's because it's because the country does not have the infrastructure that they need to give a good performance.
Correct. Some of them, yes.
Always?
Not always. Some.
Okay.
Some. So some. You have to know, if we expect to play on the world stage, we have to be on the world standard.
And it's okay for the artist to ask for that.
Yes, because that's his artistry.
Yes.
He shouldn't play with it.
Yep.
The only problem I have is that they have to pick and choose what, you have to compromise sometimes. Like, maybe compromise on your fees. You can't charge Nigeria what you charge in the US. It just sometimes doesn't make sense because how do
of
people
course.
make money? But when it comes to equipment quality, 100%, give me my quality. I don't, no hanky panky, because it's not going to be the same. You want to be able to give the same quality of events whether you're in Nigeria or whether you're in South Africa or whether you're in Jamaica.
But doesn't that affect the ecosystem that the artists are now not performing in their own country?
Because of the standard they've set.
When I did Burna Boy in Jamaica, we had to import equipment. What did Jamaica? No, I think we imported the one in Trinidad, I remember. But they were imported from another country as well. So it happens many of great countries import. It's not unusual for them to import. So if we want to keep importing, we can, as long as we plan properly and make sure the equipment arrive early.
Yeah.
But people who invest in sounds have to start looking critically into it and start investing more into those technical spaces. And maybe we'll be the ones exporting it now.
But as the Nigerian who knows of the problems that we have as a country when it comes to this touring thing and also organizing concerts in Nigeria as regards like equipment, and you have those equipment, have you ever thought about renting it out to like
We
Nigeria?
don't have those equipment.
You don't
we
even
don't.
have it?
No, we don't. We don't buy them.
Ooh.
No, we pay for them for every show that happens.
That's a lot of cost.
That's a lot of cost.
Yeah,
that means
it
to
is,
buy it
but-
to be way more expensive.
Yes,
You don't think it's better
because
easier
those-
to
those-
buy and just have it?
Some of the equipment cost about $100 million. Yeah, we put it together what they actually recover.
I'm sorry,
require.
what kind of equipment is down? Is it like which
So
one?
I'll give you an example. Like
Yes,
if you
please.
go do a show in the Madison Square Garden,
Yeah.
there's no sound and light.
Everything is fixed by
Because-
you.
Correct.
Because these are things
Yeah.
that are meant for sports, and you have to fix
Correct.
them for music.
Now, and why you can't buy is that the equipment that one artist uses is not the same equipment the other one artist uses.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, so they
the different, there's some different brand stuff, different affiliations. Music directors prefer different things. Just like keyboard, there's Yamaha, there's
Yeah.
what's the other one?
Yeah.
and they'll ask for what they want.
Do you ever look at a rider and like, oh my god?
Well, I'm not production, so I don't even look at. I don't stress myself these days on those ones. You won't kill me. How many rider I won't look? Shit. No. The only thing is you have your production buyout, so you know a cap of what you should spend. If you want to cut, you know what to cut. But I don't look at riders. I'm too busy to looking at riders.
What determines pricing in a particular show?
Pricing of the tickets to the fans or to the artists.
Ticket pricing. And then it's a two-headed question. What do you think about secondary ticketing?
What determines pricing? There's a lot. First, the economy of the city, because some city have higher purchase.
Purchasing power.
Purchasing power.
Some city they are poor. From city to city, it's not the same thing. Then also the cost of production, cost of the event, production, marketing, paying the artists and stuff. You want to put the tickets where you're able to break even and make some money. So that's really like we can't do a Madison Square Garden show and the tickets are not expensive. It's not just possible. Madison Square Garden is not for the rich. It's not for the poor. Like we always say, nobody makes money in the garden but the garden. The garden is just ridiculous.
Except for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, except they're doing 5 nights or some shit like that. Pardon my French. The garden doesn't. It's very expensive.
So how do you break even?
The only thing the tickets, so that's why I'm explaining why ticket prices have to be
For you to make some money for you.
be high for you to be able to break even safe. Ticket prices have to be high because the garden is the garden, the world most
garden
famous
is the garden.
arena. So those are the things that if the cost of producing and the cost of all that is not high, there's no need to overprice the tickets because the lower the ticket price is, the easier it is to sell.
So part of the issues I would say with Afrobeats is people are being too ambitious with the venues that are going for.
Yes.
Right? People are being excessively ambitious. People that can't do you should be doing a theater, you're doing an arena.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you now do the arena, you are now telling camera to be looking at certain
One angle.
places. And then when a journalist now goes and report that it's actually not so. You should have a problem with journalists when you should have just controlled your ambition in the first place.
But is it only Solani, sorry before you continue, is it
Yeah.
only the artist or also the event promoters?
That
Determines the
Yes,
that project.
No, it's not only the artists.
Oh.
Sometimes the event promoters.
Want to push
Yeah. It's not
and make
only
a
the artists.
statement.
Yes.
I
I agree with you. It's not only the artists.
Interesting.
we filled it up.
But who comes up with the is it an artist says that you're approached, for example, that there's like by a partner there's going to be that they want to do a show somewhere, right? Or are you the one that pitches the show sometimes?
Yeah.
So, I'll take it back to your question. Artists playing in where arenas
That they shouldn't be playing.
they have no business playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the reason I said no, the artists and promoters tell the artists you can do it. Many promoters said, "Oh, the artists you can do it." The artists now think that they can do it, right? So there's a lot of factors to it. Then sometimes an artist plays an arena in one. Am I talking too fast?
No, you know.
Okay, because I speak fast. An artist plays an arena in one country and thinks that he's now on the arena stage in every country in the world. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Because the audiences are different.
Yeah, the audiences are different. You have to look at the data.
But they have the data.
Ego.
They have the backing.
Narcissism.
It's a lot. So that's why I said sometimes the promoters be like, so the promoters sometimes when they see that they've done it in London, they say, oh, we can do it here as well.
Let's go
Or
somewhere.
they still say Duke don't do them, so they say they go feed do them.
Ah!
Yeah, there's a lot of that as well. There are a lot of people trying to do what we do. A lot
Normal.
of people are trying to copy touring, which is not easy. Rather just do their cities. They don't understand that there's also different type of promoters.
Yeah.
We do a lot of copycats as Nigerians, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Some artists should not be in some venues, and it's affecting the culture.
It's a pandemic now.
It's a pandemic.
It's a massive pandemic.
What started the pandemic?
Everybody wants to do sold out.
Competition.
Or do you, I think that when we talk about touring, as someone who has been like on this for a while, do you think that Burna Boy pushed the needle when it comes to touring for artists?
Push the needle.
Yeah.
Did he set the pace?
Yeah.
Yes, because he's a touring artist. But does it mean that the others were not touring before him, though? I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense.
So
Yeah.
what's the difference? Break that down. I don't really.
Like I was, Burna is my blood, by the way.
Yeah.
David is also family.
Yeah.
I was touring David before I started touring Burna. Right? So I don't know how, both of them tour. But Burna is a touring. Burna lives on the road. Burna is
a performer.
Burna is the performer. He lives on the road. He literally, his life is on the road. His life is on stage.
His brand suits the stage.
But you know what I mean? David tours, but David also needs time to influence. David is one of the biggest influencers in Nigeria, in Africa.
Yeah.
And not let me not get in trouble. But
Don't get in trouble.
not the tweet disrespectful influencer.
Yeah.
David's a big influencer. He's
Yeah,
making
he
so
is.
much money from it.
Yeah.
So the music, I think people don't understand the music business. The music business, you can make money from 10 million things.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to see what works for you.
Yep.
So David needs time for the lifestyle. He needs time for
To recharge.
So I don't see David being on the road 24/7 like Burna does. But he sells the shows as well.
And it doesn't mean he's a lesser artist.
No, that's
Contrary
what
to some
that's what
people
I'm
that are
trying
going
to
be
do. Exactly.
silly with this shit.
So, but Burna is a rock star. He lives on the road.
Yeah.
He has to live on the road. If Burna is not on the road, that's when Burna's on with tweets. But Burna, when he's on the road, he doesn't play because that's he's fulfilled being on stage.
I mean, the smile on his face every time he's on
He's
stage.
always
is-
so
Oh yes,
happy.
he's
always
smiling.
He's always so happy.
Right. And how's your relationship with him personally?
Dabney. Yeah, very close. He's like my brother. His blood.
No.
His blood. Burna is blood. Very, very good. We have a very good relationship.
Who's your favorite artist to work with?
Speed Darlington.
Maybe you shouldn't have said favorite. Okay, but in this.
Why would you ask me that kind
Like,
of question on your podcast?
Okay.
You want me? You want move for
Of
trouble?
course not.
They
But,
play.
okay, let's not use favorite. Like in your who has been the easiest
Shout out to
artist?
Happy One Mama.
No, who has been the easiest artist to work with?
None of them is easy. Yo. None. All of them. Tell them. I'm saying with my full chest. None of them is. All of them decrease one by one. None of them is easy.
Wow.
Easiest might be easiest in what sense though?
In terms of the process, personality,
Oh, they all have their individual personalities.
personality types.
Right. That your family is somebody does not mean you don't fight. Right.
That is what.
Their family is somebody does not mean you don't fight.
Facts.
You know. I don't know. They're different. When it comes to who is chill, maybe Rema.
Ooh.
He's very chill. He doesn't just like his space. Ruga has a good personality. Ruga actually has a personality.
Very good personality.
Personality different from what he portrays online, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he
as
does.
well, yeah.
He does.
Ruga is cool as well. But remember, I don't go on the road. So I don't. If I go on the road, then I won't be able to make it. But 200 shows now. But overall, yeah. Then Tiwa is a sweetheart.
Tiwa.
The women are they are sweethearts. They don't stress nobody. Tiwa and Simi. The only thing is just sell their shoes for them. That's all you need. The women don't stress me at all.
At all.
The men are the ones that stress me. Then my brother Adekunle Gold is.
Shout out to Adekunle Gold.
Yeah, Adekunle is. Adekunle, I think Adekunle's own is his. He doesn't like Wahala. He's a calm guy.
Yeah.
So that one.
Do a show for him and it's fine.
Yeah.
Shout out to Liz.
Yes, Elizabeth. She's a fantastic girl.
So you've been away from Nigeria. Now that you're back, what's that like? When you came back to Nigeria, or when you were now that you're around, what's that thing that you saw? You're like, are we still here?
The airport.
The airport is
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
trash.
It's embarrassing, and you cannot be complaining of the Benin airport and still complaining of Lagos airport.
Lagos airport.
Is it Benin for me?
No, it's international now.
You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Don't make any sense.
You know, the easiest thing that Nigeria could do, even easier than changing the national anthem, is to renovate that airport to everywhere in the airport. Like, I don't understand it. What does it take?
Doesn't take anything. Sometimes the airport smells like piss.
It does. It takes nothing.
Like when you get back into Nigerian airspace, when you get to the airport, you
It's
just know
like
it's Nigeria.
it's just
It's
like
so embarrassing.
Even
Do you
if
know
you're
how many-
blind.
so in my mind, I'm like, so do you know how many people want to come to Nigeria? Watch how many people come to Nigeria this December.
Yeah,
Because we're selling Afrobeats.
Yeah.
And Afrobeat is selling everything in the culture.
yeah.
yes.
The food has become top. There's a place in Lagos, by the way, they sponsor a lot of our events, Lagos. It's a restaurant called Lagos, right on Times Square. One of the best restaurants. Look it up. It's a Nigerian restaurant, right on Times Square.
I need to visit.
If you see how expensive the look of Lagos is, white or Chinese, so everybody wants to come to Lagos. Anybody that gets to New York, the first place they go is Lagos. Even all our artists on Jazzy, David, they all go to Lagos. Because the music has pulled everything, pulled the fashion and the food with it.
The culture.
The culture.
Culture.
So people's interest in coming to Nigeria have increased.
Yeah.
But when you come, the first thing you meet is that stinking airport and heat.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether the ACs are working.
They are not. Even the internet is trash.
Is there Wi-Fi?
Is there
there?
Wi-Fi?
Yes, there's free Wi-Fi.
I've never.
Oh yeah.
tried-
Don't worry about it.
It does not used to connect.
When you come,
The Wi-Fi they shake like this.
yeah. When
It does not used to connect.
Actually, they said no. Yeah, this is not working.
There's free Wi-Fi.
There's
Then you
supposed
don't
to
have
be.
you don't have the
Wi-Fi.
belts. The what do you call that thing? The belts where they load.
Yeah.
That will be stopping.
Yeah.
It's like.
I'm like, then some of them are bent this way. This way. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we
What's
doing?
going- Like, literally, what are we doing?
The ones that piss me off the most is the early people, especially after you land. You're already fucking tired. And someone is, nigga, you get the fuck out of my way, bro.
Yeah.
mean, don't come and
What
arrest
you
me,
carry?
please.
What you carry? Come. How you, bro? People
Bro.
like, that's why I know. Not today.
Bro.
Oh my
Not
god.
today.
What are, like in America? What's the popular impression that they have of Nigerians?
Nigerians, besides the 419. Well, even the 419, you know what's funny in Nigeria about Nigerians is that we don't argue with the 419 anymore. Before you crack that, they say that 419
They've already given it to
give
you.
We know how to make ourselves supportive.
Oh yeah, so they're tired of us now. So now they know that Nigerians are very industrious
Yeah.
and Nigerians are go-getters. So I think the world is beginning to
Accept
slowly
it for what
accept
it is.
And Afrobeat has changed the narrative a lot. And the Nigerian guys are also they are making us proud.
They're doing well.
They're doing well because they don't split meals on dates.
Shout out to the men.
Like
Shout out to the men, them.
The Nigerian men don't split meals on
Melody
dates.
doesn't like the positive PR.
So Nigerian men are
Like, don't worry
that's
about
why
it.
when I see them arguing on Instagram, all these people, Nigerian men, other countries like them. They like the Nigerian men. The Nigerian men, they spend money on them.
So it's the Nigerian men with the money.
Yes. Ababolas.
If you're not a ball like this conversation is not
And when
for
you go to the club and there are 10 tables, 9 is Nigerians who are popping bottles.
in America.
Yes, I mean when I'm talking most of the Afrobeat parties, right?
Parties, okay, cool.
Nigerians are popping bottles. Nigerians
We like
spend.
to show off. What is it about?
yes.
Like,
Yes.
We like to show off.
It's a thing, but we also have the money to spend.
Yeah.
Some of these people don't have the money to spend. Nigerians work hard and ball hard.
Yeah.
Because they would live there. Have a doctor friend of mine, Dr. Kina, who always goes out with me and would he would come from work to the party. Then he would sleep for 3 hours. He say, "Oh, I have to see my patients at
That is
12." He would
unhealthy.
drive for an hour and a half to go, and he'll be fine. To go and see his patients, then probably he'll be done. Then he'll go to bed, sleep for 8 hours. Like, oh yeah, I have off on Monday. I'll be fine. But the truth is, we still do our job diligently.
That is insane. What are some of the challenges that you face in your job? Like in your quest to throw great shows, to make great partnerships?
We, believe it or not, we struggle with financial constraints sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we produce a lot of shows at once.
Mm.
But there are different ways to solve all that, or to leverage this thing. But another thing is the artists sometimes, a lot of these artists, some artists don't understand, except the big guys that know that they have to push their shows. Some artists just believe that if I put up my flyers, you sell. That's not the case.
You have to
Why?
hustle.
You have to hustle. You have to promote your show.
Yeah.
The promotion of the show is not only for the artist, for the promoter, because the biggest platform is your platform. The
Yep.
promoter probably has most 30K followers.
You have millions.
You have millions, so it cannot be your page, not be fashion page.
So right now, you need people that will carry the matter on their head.
Carry it on your head.
Don't want mysterious.
Yep.
Carry it on your head.
Yeah, so don't be doing some
No.
superstar.
That's why I like how David promotes his show.
Yep.
Davido will promote his show. He knows it's his show. He's not playing with it. He does not play with his business. His energy is, this show
You must go.
must go.
And it's funny
That's
how
the energy.
sometimes fans be shaming you for promoting
Because
your
fans don't understand
You
anything.
don't
They're
understand
dumb.
what the fuck.
Why would you not be proud selling your business?
Yep.
They think you promoting it means that you lack star power.
That's what they think. That's what some of them think.
Yeah.
But you mean the Twitter fans, though?
Yep.
So those ones are a different set of people. But as an artist, you're supposed to promote every show you are paid for. You are paid to do a show.
Yeah.
You're paid to do a show. Post the damn
reputation
thing.
is on the line.
Yes. They'll be making you for video drop. For sure, when did they pay you? No, they play. Go do the. How many seconds you go do the video drop?
Oh.
But you go there, you define, you'll get time. Make I don't talk. What would they continue?
But how about in relationship building? Like, what are some of the things that affect like business for you?
Affect business positively or negatively?
Negatively sometimes. Like amongst Nigerians, for example, people like to work with certain types of people. Tribalism, for example.
Oh, I don't even think. So, if the question is there tribalism, yes, there's tribalism. There's tribalism in the world, right? There's racism in the world. There's tribalism in the world. I haven't really faced tribalism directly from the artist, but I have faced tribalism from some persons in the industry. I think the artists understand the business. Most of the big artists, for example, right?
They also want to get rich and move on.
Yeah, because if you look at all the artists, Olamide's manager is Sanibu guy.
Yeah.
Davido's manager is Sanibu guy. Simi's manager is Sanibu guy. So they're not. It doesn't matter where you come from. The question is, are you capable?
Can you do your work?
Can you do your work? So I've never really had that issue with the artists per se. But I remember. Oh, you just reminded me about the Olamide when we did Olamide. But I remember when we announced Olamide, the problem I had was still the industry folks and some sympathizers. When we announced Olamide's first show, if I'm correct, they had a problem with the non-Yoruba person doing Olamide. Remember, Olamide was the god of the Yorubas back then.
Yeah.
They had a problem with it. And because some are sympathizers of certain promoters who felt that only them should be doing shows, and I had done 3, 4, 5 before this. So they were like, no, this guy is come to take
Who's
our
this guy?
gas. Yeah, come to take our gas, this thing. And they specifically said, and I remember, said, why would a non-Yoruba? And I didn't understand it because I don't really face that much tribalism before.
Yeah.
So why would a non-Yoruba be doing Olamide? What? Even Olamide was watching it. Because Olamide was like,
Huh? People
What does
think
that
like
have to
this.
do-
because they even contacted him. Now, my problem is you being tribalistic is a different problem. It's your personal problem. But when you not carry it on your head to go extra miles, you are reminding me of this thing. Do you know that they posted stuff on Facebook, threatening me on Facebook? They said we're going to come and shut down the place. This is the first time I'm mentioning this, by the way. I don't think I ever spoke about it in any interview. They said they were going to come down and shut down the show. It was at Amazura back in the days. They hacked my website. Now, the way they hacked it was very interesting because they didn't do it from the United States. They went through India to hack it from India. So, to hack it from India so that it will not be traceable. So they now, from India, from US to India, the IP address back to the United States. So they try and make it more difficult. Then they sent me a threat note on the website. So when I log into my website, I see a threat note.
That's insane.
And this is only because you were trying to do a show with Olamide.
Correct. So I printed that thing out and I went to make a police report on it. Then my elder brother, who's an attorney as well, saw threats all over Facebook. He captured all of that and kept. And one of the stuff we saw around we heard around was that we were going to show up to the venue with a gun.
You did?
Jesus Christ.
Wait, we are hurried.
Okay.
Don't rush.
Brown and white.
So even Olamide that year flew down with his own security, said he wasn't going to take chances because it was so bad.
Wow.
This is the time where artists don't move around security that much in the States, by the way. So him coming down with the security was like, nah, I have to fly down. He doesn't want security in the city. He has to come down with his own security from Atlanta. Do you know the police recommended I have a police officer, undercover police officer, who was armed. So the guy was undercover, was armed and was with me all through the show. Someone showed up at the venue with a gun.
Jesus Christ.
First time I mentioned it ever. But we were prepared. So the police vehicles were... and the annoying part was, I don't know how they did not think they would be caught. They had it all over them. But because we knew and they had threatened all through, we made sure that there was proper searching for everyone who went in. And they were arrested. They were arrested with a gun in front of the venue. Just for the fact that a non-Yoruba guy is doing a Olamide show.
What year was this?
15 or 16.
That was Olamide's. Olamide was hot.
Yeah, it was on fire.
Nah.
That was where?
On fire.
That's wild. How long have you been married?
Why? You won't give me a second wife?
How long have you been married?
7 years.
So, is it your wife? Is she Nigerian?
Yes.
But you met her in America?
Nope. I met her here.
You guys were together before you traveled?
Yep.
Mad.
So
We're together. We're together. But when I reached there, I felt break up first. When I saw those babes, I said, we're here.
You're like, bro.
I was like,
You're like...
Are these Nigerian? Are these the black ones or the foreign ones?
Wait, the one I say,
That you say, yeah.
you know they see American babes.
But why is that some of them are so messy?
Messy in what sense?
Like dramatic or...
Oh, that's black Americans, you mean? Because remember the different types. There's
Latin
Africans in
Americans.
diaspora.
Yeah.
Then there's black Americans.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you mean by messy, but it's cultural. There's just cultural differences. Just like those from the Bronx act like they're from the Bronx, like Cardi B, for example. No matter how much money she has, she's still
Bronx.
It can
she's
be
still raw.
messy.
She's still Bronx exactly. So it depends. The ones who are from, well, maybe Memphis is quite a white place, but the ones who are from them will be a little bit different, calmer.
What made you go back
Go back to.
to your wife?
When will I go back to my wife? You get plans?
What made you go back?
Oh, what made me go back? I can't answer. This is your question, so.
Even me, I didn't hear it clearly.
So what made you go back?
It was destined that she was going to be my wife. It was destined. God said I was my wife, and I went. No, not to say this is not the story of. This is not the story of pastor say. I prayed about it because I was getting confused. I dated a Nigerian at some point in America, and I wanted to. Remember, I mentioned I wanted to get married at 25. But at 25 was when I left Nigeria. So I wanted to settle down, and I prayed about it, and God directed me to her. So I went back to her. That's it.
When you came back, she didn't say, "Oh, after you."
No, when I broke up with her, this woman, she told me, "No problem. When you're done, I'll be here waiting for you." I was like, "Huh? What's this all talking about? Me?"
Who do you think you are?
Have you seen them babes?
At the other time, I do shakara. I go call Nigeria. I don't go see her. She said, "I want to see you." I says, "Z." I was forming fine boy. Nah, she don't humble me. As I finish the call, now I'll go do video call. Because she wait my call. Time a day. Am I mad? That's my baby. That's my savior. Like she's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I can't play with that. But God knew what.
God has a way.
Yeah, God had His way.
Yeah.
God has a way of doing things.
Yeah.
I think another question that I have is about: are you ever going to do a show in Nigeria?
You've asked me this question 5 years ago. I say accent.
Yeah.
Maybe this year we'll see.
Oh,
That means you're making plans.
No, maybe
So if you want to do, so let me just tell you, if you want to do a show in Nigeria, one of the biggest problems that we have with events in Nigeria is the sound.
I already know, and I'm an engineer.
So the
he has
one,
a response for everything, bro. Don't worry. So the Timaya show that you did some years ago.
Oh, I thought we passed that Sebaya stage. Please, Sebaya is supposed to take me out this weekend. Don't let him change his mind, though. Before we not remember.
Chulo baby.
Chulo. when you just 2 weeks ago, he said, don't forget that show. I say, I beg to go. What's your question with Sebaya show?
What's
happened?
the story of the show?
And that story is plenty. It's not every story. Let us talk about the successes. All this struggle. Do you like suffering?
No.
I'm on my glory. You want to be reminding me of?
Okay, let's talk about the fact that you just made Forbes 40 under 40.
Oh, they don't clap here. Clap. The only Nigerian on Billboard 40 under 40. That's what she's talking about. Don't carry me to my days. I've forgotten what happened, sir.
That's a massive one.
Thank you.
And it's not your first time on Billboard. I think that's
No, it's not.
third or fourth time.
Yeah, been power
Yeah.
player twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a big one. I'm actually very excited.
Yeah.
It's big. I don't know. I think I've been over happy throughout today. Maybe that's why you guys were able to get me into the podcast.
You said it was bullying.
Yeah, you believe me now.
I kind of did though. I don't
You
lie.
believe me because when you texted me, I was like, I used to come. I was like, where? I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so the Billboard 40 under 40, when I got the confirmation a few days ago, I was like, wow. Like it feels good to be appreciated for what you do, to be recognized, and it also feels good to me personally, as a Nigerian who left engineering to venture into something that not
Was
about.
new territory.
Yeah. My mom used to say to me that there are not two choices for me. That the only choice is for me to succeed. So, I'm super happy and excited, but it also tells me one thing: that to whom much is given, much is expected. That means we cannot stop here. People are watching. People are noticing. People are appreciating. As hard as we think it is, because it's hard, it's tough. I think you had before, you said what are challenges. I didn't really want to go much into them, but being a black immigrant, doing something of this level.
Yeah.
Like you said, people think I'm American. Even Americans think I'm American when they hear the name. So when they hear, say, black immigrants from Nigeria, so it's tough being in another man's land and being that successful. So, but Billboard recognizing it and recognizing me, the only Nigerian to make it on that list this year, 40 people in the entire world were picked, and I made that 40.
That's a lot.
That's an honor. So, I appreciate all those who have been in support.
Shout out to you. That's
Congrats,
that's
a
very
success story.
impressive,
Thank
actually.
How much respect do you have for Nigerian show promoters? Like in Nigeria, in Lagos?
And how many of them do
I
you
respect them. I
collaborate
know
with?
it's
No,
not easy.
Like in terms of like the challenges that they are also navigating in this market.
Yeah, they deal with a lot as well. They have their own. Because I did a show in Jamaica, I know what I went through. So they gave me phobia from there.
What was the experience?
Hey, let's not go there. You did
PTSD.
another whole podcast for that one. One full session. Was like that's why it's even hard for me to come because I feel like I'm going to go through the same thing. You know, you have a ticketing platform that you're looking at it. In America, your ticketing platform, you see how much you sold, how many tickets you've sold, you know how much you've made, you know how much taxes you've moved, how much
Transparency. Seen it.
transparent. Jamaica. I said me Nigeria.
You don't know why you won?
I said, I said me Nigeria had the one scab me. The more you look, the less you see.
Huh.
When we don't finish, we'll finish. Oh, no, so the system double counted this. What are you talking about?
What's that system that did not work during election, though?
The electronic.
What's that? I can't remember.
I
That
can't
was
remember
trendy.
Listen, that's exactly what was going on.
Jesus.
They were telling me to my face that the numbers were wrong.
The numbers are lying.
The charts is lying.
And this after the. Listen, we dealt with a lot. The show was good, but they ripped off us. They scammed us.
Wow.
Scamming in Nigerian is wild. Woo, I felt very bad. You know, we lost a lot of sponsorship dollar also because people who helped us get the sponsorship dollar diverted it. It's a lot. A lot.
Wow.
So much.
Who's the one person after you moved and decided to do this business that assisted you greatly?
You mean who's one person in what?
That helped you? It could be a show promoter, it could be a financier, it could be like, who's the one person that really, really, really helped you?
Beside my team, maybe Temi and Abby, I had a mentor, Stanley Owako. Stanley was a show promoter as well. So I remember when I wanted to start, I went up to him and told him, "Hey, I want to do this," and he gave me he connected me with some of the promoters. He was giving me advice, you know, and stuff. Other than that, God. Other than that, God. But also, when I got to a particular point, there was a time I was almost frustrated that I wanted to become a booking agent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was a time it was just frustrated. And I learned a lot from Bonna's mom.
Shout out to Namix.
Yeah, Namix. Namix taught me a lot. I did a lot of stuff under her. And I told her I want to become a booking agent. She told me, no, she's still on your path. She told me to be patient, you know, and she connected me to some people and stuff. So, yeah, but many of the people that I do business with, we've helped ourselves in one way or the other. We've continuously inspired ourselves. And it's a continuous process, to be honest with you.
So when it comes to like Afrobeat and the conversation around the growth of Afrobeat globally, you know, like you just said, people are buying into the Afrobeat and even the Lagos and the Nigeria idea, you know, globally outside of Nigeria. As someone who exports Afrobeat in your own way, which is in touring, how do you feel when you hear artists say things that can be problematic to the culture? Like when they say, "Oh, Afrobeat is not this, is not," I don't.
It comes to the talent. You can't stop it. It comes to the talent. It's there's some things you can only control what you can control, right? The the artists are not normal people. For you to be to be very talented, you have to have a little level of madness to you. You know, so I don't focus on those things. I just focus on what I'm supposed to do, which is sell the damn tickets.
But do you worry that these people can do you worry that the world might stop paying attention to Afrobeat at some point?
Well, right now we're doing the right thing. Those little banters don't care. They don't
matter.
Yeah, those little banters don't matter. As long as we're not there carrying gun and promoting violence, right? That's what dancehall used to do at some point, which is
Yep.
what the problem was. Now, if you start getting to the point where you're carrying gun and really, really going after each other and killing people, there's death here and then that's where there's a problem.
Yeah.
But if it's ending on Twitter, this doesn't mean anything, right? Was the world going to keep on listening to Afrobeat? The problem with the world listening to Afrobeat is not going to be those things. The problem is going to be the price of the tickets right now and the price of the artists right now. That's where the problem is going to be.
The pricing.
Yes.
Who are some of your closest friends in this game, like in the industry?
I'm not girlfriend, I beg. Everybody's my friend, though. Everybody's my friend. I don't know how to say it. Everyone is my friend. You can't really have. The moment you start having one best friend here, then you become very biased. You start getting into
Sentimental.
Yeah, sentimental. You start getting into conversations that don't concern you and stuff. Everyone is my friend. I'm very, very good with everybody, by God's grace. But who's my industry bestie? I don't know. Maybe they tell me. Maybe that may be the industry bestie. I don't know. But I have a very. I'm an easygoing guy, so I have a very good relationship with everybody. To be honest, right? When we need to talk, we talk. And I'm also very busy. So it's not like there's one time there for us to be doing industry bestie. But I do have a lot of good friends, both in comedy. Like I was in AY's house 2 days ago.
That's where.
Playing piano. He had me playing piano.
You can play the piano?
Oh, you didn't see it on AY's page? I try. Yeah, I played the piano. You did not? I was a career director. I am a career director. Why you they laugh?
So you can sing.
Yes. What I tell somebody you know they sing? Why does somebody you know they sing? They sing off key for life. I don't understand.
Are you a spiritual person?
Yes, I am.
What role do you think that spirituality plays generally?
My spirit tells me not to do certain things, and I listen to it. Every decision I've made in life has been God driven. Like literally every. Except if I don't ask him, or if I don't listen to him. Because like people, I say all this way everybody they shout. All the churches now they want the Nigerian churches online. No, but there's no silence. It's talk. I said that's the best time. God has answered your prayer, but you are still shouting and talking. You are kabashing for 5 hours. No, I listen, pray in silence, and it directs my foot to the right places. So might not be the holiest person in the world, but I have a relationship with God, and once in a while I fast, 2 or 3 times a year first.
2 or 3 times in a year?
Yeah.
For how many days at a time?
Well, Lent, it was 40 days.
Okay.
This is the first time I'm doing 40 days this year, Sha. Yeah. But normally you go fast for Wednesday, Friday during the Lent. But this one I did 40 days straight. Did you know easy, Sha? I can't do that, I make you Jesus. But but I fast here. Sometimes I do 1 week fast. Especially if I have something big coming and stuff. But yeah, I believe I'm very strong in spirituality. It's my personal belief, and it works for me, so I stick with it.
Fair.
Thanks for sticking with us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for rocking with us. This has been a great, informative episode. Thanks for allowing yourself to be bullied into this episode.
My accountant will send an invoice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another.
You don't hear that part before you end up. My accountant will send an invoice. Thank you.
We just pretending like we didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another fantastic, maybe the greatest episode of the Zero Conditions podcast with the number 1 show promoter in the world.
And period.
On the number 1 podcast in the world.
Period.
This episode should be titled Period. And that's on period with Duke Osita Ugeh.
And that's on period, actually.
That's on period. And this episode was brought to you by Chivas Regal.
Yes, it was.
We're going to be doing a giveaway of Chivas very soon. So our producer, kindly project our email on our screens, please. Thank you very much, so that people can be sending us emails and they can be ready for this giveaway. And then we're going to have another episode where we're going to be doing some very interesting cocktails very soon. So you might want to look out for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for rocking with us. This episode comes out on Monday. This episode was still brought to you by Pop Central, channel 189 on DSTV. And catch us on Friday nights at 10 p.m. on Pop Central. Live. This is live. This is not pre-recorded, by the way. Live. And then on every Monday, there's not like on every Monday, we're out on all streaming platforms.
Yep.
On YouTube.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Zero conditions. Zero
Listen to us on
conditions.
Spotify too, please. Very, very important. So that Melody will not kill me.
Subscribe to our
You can also listen on anywhere you get it, including Audio Mac and Boomplay, by the way. And it comes out on Monday. Teasers come out over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So look out for that. Support. Give us your feedback. Thank you very much for working with us. It's a wrap.